Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to C2L. I'm Tommy.
I'm Kalpa.
Welcome to Chennai to Lagos. What are we up to?
We're doing a wedding Q&A. We asked you guys if you have any questions on Instagram, and you had a lot. So here we are trying to answer them all. Again, this is a late night shoot. So if we look tired, it's because we are tired.
Completely.
We've been
100%.
saying this for the past few videos.
Yeah.
We're quite tired. I have my green tea here, and
I have nothing.
You have me.
Oh.
Yeah. And we're just like also cozy right now, trying to answer your questions. Let's get right to it.
Let's get right to it. How has the pandemic affected your wedding?
Big question. Many answers. There is, of course, an impact of what's going on in the world on our wedding, and naturally so. But number one, we initially wanted to have the entire wedding in Kenya. The whole Nigerian side and the Indian side, even the white dress, the church ceremony in Kenya. And we were going to bring my parents from India. We had everything set out for them to come, and the same goes for Tom's family in Nigeria, especially his grandparents, because Tom is the first grandson from the family, so there's an importance in them wanting to be there for the wedding. But because of the pandemic, that can't happen. Firstly, because traveling during this time is not the best thing to do, especially for people in a certain age group. And then secondly, you guys know, of course, that India is undergoing a really, really hard wave right now. And the last thing I want is my parents to be stressed about shopping, stressed about catching a flight, and, stressed about all the things that comes with traveling. And then having to come to Kenya and then quarantining for a specific number of days, and also making sure they're healthy in Kenya as well. So we had to make a very joint decision and an executive decision, along with the family, of course, like not just us, the family, and including my parents, that it's not the safest option for them to come, not the safest option for grandparents to come either, which meant that our plans completely changed that point on. But at the beginning of all this, we had non-negotiables about this wedding. And the non-negotiable was that we're not changing the date of the wedding, no matter what happens. Because this date, we had both felt in our heart was the date. And we felt if we start postponing it, we're going to end up postponing it too much.
Not just even us, even the fam.
Yeah, even my parents. My parents felt, let's not move the date. We've seen people who've moved the date, and they have had to move the date several times. So they felt that we need to stick to a date. My parents were very clear on, let's go with the date and we'll figure it out. But we're trying to make the best out of it. Our non-negotiable was the date, but we've changed up everything around it. Literally everything around it.
Numbers from 100
Numbers
to 30.
To food, to venue, to where we're setting up our ceremony, to our clothes, our budget. Literally everything, we changed it except our date, and that is how we're getting through this whole thing. And the most beautiful part is our entire family is in support of this. If you saw the last video 2 videos ago, the Zoom meeting, that was the purpose of that video, is to get blessings from everyone around the world, especially my parents, and for my parents to basically be a part of this, even if it's virtually. And that's what we plan on doing, including them in the entire wedding that's happening in Kenya, while they're in India, safe at home, watching it on their phone. And I'm at peace knowing they are safe, and that's what really matters. So we had a couple of questions around the same topic. Will you be celebrating both Nigerian and Indian functions? And the answer is yes. Our goal is to celebrate our cultures and our heritage through our wedding. The question is how. So
this is how we're going to do it. As she explained, obviously the family could not come over here. So our wedding what we planned for one major day is basically going to be spread over a period of time. We are, patiently watching how things are in India, and the goal is that we would like to do a proper ceremony there.
A Tamil,
A proper
exactly. Tamil, Kalyanam. Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
And we also want to, because of the fact, family in Nigeria has not been able to be a part of it, we would love to do the same thing in Nigeria, more of like a reception. So I think that answers both of them. Yes, we will have the Nigerian and Indian functions, but also, because we are having a white wedding, one of the things that we're trying to do is bring out both cultures even while we are here. So even though we're having a white wedding on this end, we will have a way of bringing out both of our cultures, because come on, you don't get to do this every day, right? So where is the wedding going to be? India or Kenya?
And we had several of these questions, and understandably so. Yes, that's our answer.
Answer is yes.
We're gonna
Where's
have
the
it
wedding
in
going to be?
Kenya.
India or Kenya? Yes.
Yeah, and Nigeria. Nigeria is a reception, but yes, it's still in the bucket list of our wedding. So, like we said, this is a very unconventional wedding. It's not happened in one day. It's going to happen over a course of a year.
Yeah.
So right now we are doing it in Kenya, part 1. Part 2, we will be going to India. Part 3, we will be going to Nigeria and come back home.
That must make all of you happy, because that's a lot more things for you guys to see.
Yeah. The question of when really depends on the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we need to weigh how the situation looks, also that we are safe and people that we're meeting are also safe, and then plan it accordingly. So that's why I'm saying it's planned over the course of a year. But right now, as it is, our official wedding is happening in Kenya.
Yeah.
Are
we going to have a wedding video? But of course. We have to. You guys have been a part of this from the beginning. And even if YouTube was not around, we would definitely have documented this. But we are ensuring we are putting a lot into this part as well.
Yeah.
So we have really great guys who are going to help us out with the whole videography. It's going to be a really, really, really awesome thing. So yes, there will be a video. There will be a video of this.
There will be many videos.
Many videos to come.
Actually.
If we go to India, there will be a video. Nigeria, there will be a video. So we will continue documenting. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Is it hard trying to mix both cultures? That's a really great question.
Really?
I'm thinking.
Okay, for me personally, I think with an open mind and just being empathetic and understanding, it's not. I'll give you an example. So because we are starting with the white dress and we're moving to the reception where we change to our traditional things, it means that we don't have enough time to do certain things. Now, in traditional Indian ceremonies, ladies will wear henna. Yeah. Now, I'm not used to seeing that with a white dress. But you see, I understand because of the changing time and everything before she's able to get changed into the Indian outfit. It will be a lot of time. So I give that as an example because you see, it's really just about understanding what does this culture want, or how do I put it? What would bring out this culture in its best way? That's the way. What would bring out this culture in its best way? And by understanding both sides, it's easy to put 2 and 2 together. So we are having to, balance a lot of things, but it's not really problematic because we have been balancing and mixing our cultures for
the past few years.
Past few years. So it's very, very, very simple.
I wouldn't say it's difficult. I'd just say it's not complicated either. It's not easy either. It's just it's just right there. It's what is the word? It needs critical thinking.
Yeah, I think that's good. It needs critical thinking because you don't just jump. You have to understand both sides and you need to make sure that there's no clash. You need to understand, which is why, again, it's important that we have both ceremonies. So both ceremonies being the Nigerian and Indian. So because this is predominantly a white dress wedding, there's no clashing. And because in the reception we're bringing out both cultures, there's no clashing.
Yeah.
So it's really just applying wisdom and understanding how to navigate it and go about things. But yeah, great question. But it's not really that hard with an open mind and just some plain old wisdom on how to go around things with critical thinking. Yeah.
Are you getting married in a church ceremony?
So yes, pretty much. We're not going to be in a physical church, but it will be overseen by a church. So it will be a garden beach wedding. Pastor who has known me for a while here in Kilifi and has also seen this story evolve will be the one officiating the ceremony.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah. Okay. Tamil parents mostly don't allow love marriages. How did you make them agree for your marriage?
Deep.
Again, very, very interesting questions. I wouldn't say it's one thing that made them, agree, or it's not like they were disagreeing either.
Yeah.
It took them time. That's the thing. Obviously, like you're saying, love marriages have its stigma in our community, and especially if it's an interracial kind, then there's more to it, and that's one of the main reasons why we've waited 4 years to get married, because if it was that easy, I think we'd have gotten married a long time ago. But we had to wait, we had to explain, we had to show as an example what we want from this relationship. It doesn't happen in a course of a day. Like, it's not like calling my mom and telling her everything and she's saying, okay, great, let's go ahead. Because of course they want to make sure I'm making the best choice. There were a lot of questions, first of all, that they had. So we had to take time over the past 4 years. We've been taking time in small ways to show them what our relationship is. And YouTube is one of those ways, where they get to see us and understand the love we have for each other, and also trying to answer the questions they have about our relationship and how this is going to work out. So I think that's one of the main things, is just time is what helped my parents, I would say, because they have never seen that. So, also trying to put yourself in your parents' shoes helps, because then you understand why they're against something or why they don't understand something.
Yeah.
And then you can use that to talk to them and show them why you want that something. So that's kind of how we've been doing it. But then again, I feel like it's a miracle, truly. We did all that, and the days where I felt I made no progress with my parents, and then one day, boom, they just woke up and things happened. So I think, please pray if that's the case. Make sure the person you're with is the person according to you, and you can really fight for this relationship, because once you feel that, then I feel like it will just happen. It will just happen. Yeah,
most definitely.
How did you budget for your wedding?
Wow. Okay, I think one of the things that we did in the beginning is we sought counsel from people who have done weddings recently. So we started with our friends. We tried to understand what processes they took, how did they go about it. We sat down with people to just hear their feedback and understand. That was the starting point. And I think the next point was us asking what exactly we wanted out of the wedding. Because of the whole pandemic, it made things a bit easier in the sense that we knew that there's certain things that we couldn't do, and then there were certain things that we knew we had to do. So pretty much understanding that kind of helped us narrow our focus. So for example, videography was an essential, right? Or YouTube. Now that's something that even if we were going to do before, we would probably do with a bit more effort right now, So I think we now started to prioritize certain things until we're able to find out exactly what worked for us. So in terms of the budget, I think that's how it really started. We didn't start with, okay, this is the amount that I want, or this is the amount that we have for the wedding, and then you try and make everything work. At times, if that's the route people take, if it works, that's awesome. But for us, we needed to see, okay, what do we want to do? What does it come to? And then you now make a decision. Is this something that we're ready to do? So yeah, that's how we did it. And honestly, it's worked out very, very well. God has been awesome, and we've not had any issues. So yeah, some great advice that we were told is that, a lot of times people focus on the day at the expense of the journey. So that's something that we just had to really put into context and really just break down properly that, okay, the wedding is amazing. It's great. We have to celebrate. It's a special day. But whatever decisions we take for that day must not now interfere with the actual journey, which is really when the marriage begins. So I think that mentality and that school of thought has helped keep us grounded, and it's helped us make very, very sound decisions as we move on.
Yeah. Did you have different responsibilities when it comes to wedding planning and major decisions of the wedding? Interesting question. I think in our case, we kind of did everything together. And it kind of just worked out. I think because it's a small wedding, I think that could be one of the reasons. Because initially we had 100 people guest list. Can you imagine that? And that was, by the way, like something watered down because of protocols and things. If this was not a pandemic era, it would have really, like, we wouldn't be able to count. It's just an open invite. But then due to the pandemic, it became 30 people guest list. So I think because of the 30, it became a smaller wedding, and a lot of things we were able to do it together. But of course, things related to decor, I have been more hands-on. Things related to videography and photography, Tom has been more hands-on. Things related to the bridal line and such things, I have been more hands-on. And things related to the venue, he has been more hands-on. But really, we've just been working together. Like every day we just come together and say, okay, so this is where I'm at. What do you think I should do about this? And then move together. So we didn't really like exclusively give ourselves tasks. We did everything together. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not, but it seems to work okay for us.
I think that's just how we are. Like naturally, we seem to do everything together. So this was just so natural that, okay, what are we trying to do? We talk about it, then we can just break out into our areas of strength and and try and handle things. So
any honeymoon plans? Of course. Of course.
We're going to a beautiful place.
It has even been booked, if I could be like at the liberty to tell you that.
So when is the date? The date is on. I can't tell you that right now. We just can't. We can't tell you that right now because we want to keep this a bit intimate for now. But when it happens,
I think you'll know.
You may end up knowing, but we will announce. We will announce at our own time. So just know that it's around the corner.
Congrats. Should guests expect dum biryani and jollof? For the Kenyan location wedding, there will be a lot of Indian food.
And for those of you who are from Nigeria and you're wondering why that is, well, the Indian community is actually heavily present on this side of the world. So they actually are Indian Kenyans. So it is somehow cultural.
And there are quite a number of restaurants and outlets just focused on Indian food. So it's easier to get Indian food than Nigerian food, and it's the case even with the wedding. We have more accessibility to getting Indian food than Nigerian food. But we're gonna go and eat jollof rice in Nigeria anyway. So I think that summed up a lot of the questions you guys asked. We try to answer to the best of our knowledge of what we're doing. We're still figuring this thing out, planning a wedding in a pandemic, but I think we're getting a hang of it.
We're getting the hang of it, yeah.
So I think that's it.
But that's it. Like, subscribe, click that notification bell, and make sure you stay updated with what's going on, because as you can see, we are around the corner, so you don't want to miss out on anything. Otherwise, you can tell we are tired. This is you can see it here.
It's about 1 a.m. and we woke up quite early, so
so with that said, you guys, love you, take care, see you next time.
Bye.
Beautiful face.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Can you see it now?
I can see it.
Okay.
Praise the Lord.